Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Moms in the Zone. This is a special draft episode with Moms in the Zone. Today's guests are your 2021 National Football Championship moms of the University of Alabama. We have Miss Holly Jones, Jones. He is the quarterback at Alabama. We have Miss Tomeka Murray. She's the mother of Dylan Moses, linebacker. Welcome to Moms in the Zone, Holly and Tomeka.
Hello. Thanks so much for having me.
Yes, thank you for being with us tonight for this episode. How are you both?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having us.
Stressed. I don't know about Holly. I'm a little on the stress zone.
Okay, well, we're going to get right to the questions then, ladies. Like right out the gate, the draft is coming up. Tomorrow is a big day. They're going to have round one going tomorrow. I mean, like leading up to all of this, what has it been like? With Holly, what is this moment like for you and Mac?
Well, we just got off the airplane and we're in Cleveland, and obviously we're super excited. A little bit butterflies, but that's the way it is. As you ladies know, college football has been like that, and that's just the way we ladies roll, right? Having a football son, that's the way we've been doing it since our boys were probably about 5 years old, and we're used to it, and that's the way it goes. And God has been looking out for us, and we just pray that He'll carry us through.
Amen. Amazing. And like you said, that's just the way we roll as moms. At the end of the day, you're there, you do whatever you need to do, and it doesn't change because it's the right. Everything is maybe amplified, but you do, what we do as moms. How about you, Tomeka?
Exciting. Of course. I mean, it's definitely exciting. A bit overwhelming and stressful at times because of the unknown. But then, like Holly said, the only thing we can do is do what we've been doing and just trust that God is going to put us in the right position. I have 2 younger boys that are athletes, so it's like we're being tugged in 50 different directions now. So it's more of a balancing thing for me.
Right. Just balancing it all, knowing that you have Dylan and his trying to balance the other kids at the same time. Right. Absolutely. Andrea, what questions you have?
I know you were saying Tomeka's exciting and you're a little like on edge. I mean, can you put us in that space? I mean, I just want to imagine. I mean, do you have butterflies or?
I probably will have more butterflies tomorrow than I do today.
Okay.
I think like most moms, your kids follow your lead. Whatever emotional state you're in, they're going to be in that same emotional state. So regardless of how on easy I am or how on edge I am, I can't show that. So I'm always optimistic. I'm always positive. I'm always saying positive things and encouraging things. But then when I'm by myself, I'm like, okay, did I say the right thing? Am I being overbearing? Am I pushy? So it's stressful from that perspective because you always want to make sure that you're being that comforter that they need, but also being realistic as well.
Absolutely. How about you?
So
I'm sorry.
She said it all. What that I missed this year is I would have loved for to have been with my fellow moms, and I miss them. I mean, the Alabama football family is amazing, and I know all the football teams have the same thing with their families, and that was tough for all the football teams this year. They didn't have their support. Because we were separated due to COVID, but they still have their connections, and we got through. But it's great to hear a fellow mom express the same emotions that I feel.
Absolutely. And then that leads me to the next question, like what Andrea was asking, like, how do you feel in this moment? But to take it a step further, how do you feel this moment will change your life? How do you feel that it will change Mac's life, Holly? And how do you feel that Dylan's life, Tomeka? Holly?
Well, that's interesting because, our roles as mother has changed throughout. When they were little, we had a much more active role. And then when they went to high school, it changed a little bit. And then, of course, during college, it was great. At Alabama, Coach Saban handled a lot of stuff, and he had a fabulous staff, and we let go a little bit more. And my understanding from talking to the moms that are now in the pros, you let go even a little more. And as mom kind of becomes more as a mentor and guide. And so I'm ready to move to that level and kind of serve more as a consultant and maybe hopefully at some point get some grandbabies. So, but it's going to be a change, and it's going to be a great change. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's so exciting. That is so exciting. How about you, Tomeka?
It's been pretty interesting. You know, with Dylan, it's the actual attention or spotlight part is really not new to us because he's gotten attention at a young age. But for me, it's balancing being the mom, but also being the business manager. So I have to be able to make sure that I'm giving him what he needs from a mom's perspective, and then also change that hat and put on a business mom manager perspective. But at the same time, giving him what he needs. So I have to listen more than I speak it sometimes. I have to understand that, he is a young man and we know how that goes. You know, I don't want him to be in a situation where he feels like mom is talking to him like he's a teenager. Right. Because he is going to have to make his own decisions. So it's just balancing the two. I think for me, that's the only thing that I focus on more about changing, that there's a balance there.
Absolutely. And you said something about, it's so important to be able to change and pivot with them, knowing when to be mom, but also, as Holly's saying, being a mom or a consultant and consulting them because we've guided them to this point. They're there because you guys have done an amazing job, and so we have to know when mom, hey, I'm going to be your, truest and dearest advisor, or I'm going to have to manage some things because it's a big move, to go pro, and you don't want your, we know that they're young men, but they're still our babies. You don't want them to be taken advantage of either. And you don't want them to get themselves in a situation. So that's huge.
I want to know, what's the first thing you're going to do, Holly? I mean, I know it's Max Day, but I mean, what are you going to do? Or are you just going to, I don't know.
Well, there's a lot of like what ifs, and you can lay in bed at night and drive yourself crazy about what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And Max done a really great job of taking things day by day. And, I learned so much from him. And I've been letting him take the lead, and he's very cool and calm. And I actually am probably a little bit more high strung. And so I've learned from him to really kind of be easygoing, a little bit more easygoing on all this. And I am just going to take it day by day. And I kind of, especially COVID has taught that, this whole year has taught me that instead of kind of being high strung and trying to be the organizer, I found that just kind of wait and see approach is a little bit better, and especially instead of trying to plan everything out and overdoing, I found just, take a deep breath and wait till they tell us what the next step is. And that's actually seems like it's been better than kind of overdoing things and being the high stress mom. So I've learned a lot from my own son, believe it or not. And I'm just going to wait and see what happens, and then we'll decide what the next step is.
And that's good for other moms that may be viewing this evening, that son a goal to follow in Max or steps, that they can take that same advice. So that's amazing. Tomeka, how about you? Like, what is the first thing you're gonna do?
Oh wow, a little different than Holly. I think I'm gonna take some time to just breathe. Self-care, most importantly, self-care. That's the first thing for me. Like I said before, there's been so much. I feel like I've been getting hit after hit after hit. A lot of my football moms at Alabama know, but we lost my mother in December. So from having to play in the national championship, but also the SEC championship, but having that on his mind, his conscience, or what have you, and then me having to just figure out how to continue to move on and progress through life without her, I haven't really had the time to just take care of self, if that makes any sense. So the very first thing that I'm going to do, even if it's just for 24 hours, it's going to be 24 hours of just strictly Tomeka. And then I'll put that hat back on again and get back into business.
I love it. And you guys are amazing because you're hitting on so many important topics, just like mental health, and making sure that you're okay. That is so
Right.
important, so important, so important. And Andrea, you want to take the last question? We're not going to hold you ladies long.
I know, and we've got all the Alabama moms are like, I want to see, so we're
Okay, she's still working on that. While you work on that, I'll get into the next question then.
Okay.
How did you guys make it to this point with Mac and Dylan? Like, what was the process and the journey from, Holly, you mentioned it earlier, from Little League to middle school, high school, now to the collegiate, to the collegiate, and now to the pro level. How did you guys navigate all of that? Tomeka?
For us, like I said, Dylan had a lot of national attention at a young age. He had his first offer when he was going into the 7th grade from LSU, and then Alabama offered him as an 8th grader. So with that comes a lot of media attention. So with us, everything has been strategic. But I said something today. I have a habit of kind of journalizing things just for what you said, so I can help other moms who don't really know what the process is like. And I realized that, you can't really just plan for everything. I'm learning that part, the hard way. So everything up until this past year has been strategic. Well, I say 2019, because everything was planned. We knew who we would go with as far as an agent. We knew all of that. Like, Dylan had his mindset on what agent he would pick, what financial advisor, what attorney we would use. He knew all of that. And that's because we familiarize ourselves with people who's been there before. I ask questions of other moms who have sons in the NFL, and I wanted to hear their horror stories. I wanted to hear the do's, the don'ts, the things that they wish they could have done, the things that they wish they could have done differently. A friend of mine and we started this podcast called Tough Talks. So we have those tough conversations where we can ask other moms, okay, what is it that you wish you would have done that you didn't do, that can possibly help or potentially help another mother? So even though things were planned from that first initial offer or leading up to that offer, the workouts, the eating, everything, I know at this particular time, you can't plan for everything. So I think that's one of the things. We try to be strategic, but now it's more of a, we're just going to put it in a higher power's hands. Even though I think that we put ourselves in a good position, I think he's done everything that he was supposed to do. I think that we did everything that we were supposed to do as parents to put him in the right position. And now that control has kind of been taken out of our hands. So you can't plan what's next until you know what course you're going to be on.
That's good.
Nothing else to say after that. Holly, I'll just go straight to Holly now. That is wisdom right there. Wisdom.
I that was such a great answer. It's so interesting because of the two ladies that happened to come on tonight. We couldn't have had a more opposite journey in terms of our children, because Dylan was such a shining star early on, and Mac was such a late bloomer. And so he was, slow to grow. He had a passion for football early on. He started when he was 5 years old. He was, a star in Pop Warner, but then when he hit middle school, he had kind of went through a slow period of growth. And so he kind of was small for his middle school years, although he was considered good at football. He kind of was small for a while, and he always was an underdog. And he had to work really hard in order to get college offers, and he really struggled. So as a mother, he had to deal with the issues of somebody that was frustrated but had a passion for football. So it was a long and difficult journey, and he went through periods where he believed in himself, but nobody else believed in him. And so as a mother, it was difficult to have a child that had a passion for something, and you really had to continue to encourage him to do something and that he truly loved. Nobody else believed in him except himself and probably his parents. And so eventually, when he started growing, people encouraged him to continue on his journey. And he did start having some results in high school, and then, had some slow offers because some people didn't think he was ever going to get big enough to play college ball. But eventually, he was able to get some offers and reach his dream by getting an offer from University of Alabama. And then, of course, even when he got to University of Alabama, people thought he was a walk-on, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it was a long journey for him. And, obviously, his dream is finally coming true. And so it just goes to show that, people have different journeys. And,
right.
it's others, regardless of the journey, it's, we believe in ourselves. And so and the most important thing is that as mothers, we encourage each other and we help each other along that path. And I think it's important that we all stick together.
Right. I just want to piggyback on,
I'm
if possible, I just want to piggyback on something that Holly said. Well, actually not piggyback. I want to commend Holly, because what you said is so important. You never gave up on your son. And there will be times where you see athletes, Dylan was one. I mean, it probably doesn't show sometimes, but where you second guess who you are, or they second guess who they are. They second guess their capabilities. They second guess, especially with social media, this day of social media, they allow outsiders to get in their heads. So even though, Mac was committed and he was diligent about working hard and he never lost focus, you still played a role in that, Holly, by never giving up on him and believing in him just as much as he believed in himself. And I think that's important for a lot of parents to understand, especially moms. I think that although we're nurturers, we definitely have to have an impact on where they see themselves and how to encourage them when they need to be encouraged the most. So I commend you on just keeping that faith with him and pushing him and making sure he never forgot that he was worthy of being seen and noticed. And of course, that shows today. I mean, look where he's at.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That just gives me chills, because as we asked the question and you guys began to respond, the thing that came to my mind was, like you said, Tomeka, you guys plan for things, and Holly said that the journey wasn't always clear.
Right.
Today, if you are planning for it and you're strategic and you're intentional, or if you don't even know what it's going to be, you keep moving ahead. And I think this, podcast, Moms in the Zone, what we do is why we created this, this right here is to be a platform and encouragement and a support and a village for other moms. And again, I hope they're tuning in and listening to you all share your journey about Mac and Dylan. And if they, and their children aspire to be, in your seats next year during, draft day, that they could take some things from this conversation this evening and apply that. And maybe just, hey, relax, enjoy the ride, also plan, but know that they've done everything that they could do to get here. They're here, and enjoy it. And so we just greatly appreciate you guys for taking the time. We know you guys have a lot going on and planning all your draft day parties and families coming in town from all over. And you guys took the time to, join Moms in the Zone and let us know a little bit about your draft day experience and journey. So we greatly appreciate you both for being on today. And again, congratulations to Mac, congratulations to Dylan, and the family, as a unit, but to you guys as moms, just what you do. We appreciate you
So much. And
Thank you so
congratulations.
much.
Best of luck to all of you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. And before we conclude, Tomeka, I want you to touch on your Tough Talks. Tell our viewers a little bit about that.
Well, I was going to tell you, we definitely need to collab, because the same thing that you guys are doing is what we're doing. That's what Tough Talks is
Absolutely.
about. The exact same thing. The only difference is we talk about things that you just don't hear people talk about, things that we can't say aloud, from a mental health standpoint. We're not always just gracious moms with a smile on our face. We have bad days. So we have those tough conversations aloud in a group or a forum with women who have the same journey, if not the same journey, but they definitely understand. And we want them to feel like they're not alone.
Absolutely. And it's called Tough Talks, correct?
Right.
All right.
So
all right.
any questions or anything that you may have, The website is www.toughtalks.com.
Got it. Got it. Oh, we have Miss Hicks. She's joined us. Hi, Miss Tianna. You're on mute. Unmute your phone for me. This is what I love. We're in the moment. And Tomeka, stay with us, you know?
Okay.
And Holly's still there. Okay, great. This is awesome. Your phone is muted.
Okay, ladies, I'm going to have to sign off. I've got to head to my next event, but I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much
Thank
again,
you.
and best of luck and
Best
enjoy
of
the
luck to
family.
everybody. Take care.
Yes, you too. I believe she's there. Oh. We appreciate all our viewers. We're having some technical difficulties, so we appreciate all our viewers staying with us. So we're gonna talk to Ms. Hicks as she's getting everything connected. Ms. Tianna Hicks is the mother of Najee Harris. He's the running back at Alabama as well. So as soon as we get connected, our audio connected here, we'll have a conversation with Ms. Hicks. And while we wait for Tianna to join us, Tomeka, any big, part you guys have planned or anything like that?
We're actually going to do the virtual draft. So the immediate family is going to get together, and we're gonna do that.
Okay.
Hey.
Are you there?
Am I in there now?
You're in there, baby. Welcome to the zone. Welcome to the zone.
Thank you. Man, thank you. I'm so sorry, ladies.
That is okay. Life happens. See, this is what the life of a mom truly is. Even on draft week, life happens, right?
Right.
Right. I'm still running around getting ready for tomorrow.
That's it. Life doesn't stop because it's draft week. So we appreciate you. And like I said, to Miss Holly and to Tomeka, I know that you guys' schedule is extremely busy preparing for tomorrow and everything. And so we won't hold you too long. But we just want to know, Najee, everybody in the U.S. and every week they know Najee Harris. So you're the mom of Najee Harris. And I wanted to have this conversation a long time ago because my son, Marquise, is a running back too. So we already have that mother of running back connection, right?
Right, that running back mom, yes. No,
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So first question to you, what has this, moment been like for you?
As far as the draft moment or this whole experience?
The whole experience. Touch a little bit on it all, the moment leading up to the draft, even how has it all been?
For me, it's been I probably can't say the right word for it, but to watch my son achieving his dreams right now through all the obstacles and the hardships and the things that we've gone through. Tomorrow is probably going to be very emotional for me. I probably will break down and start crying just because at the end of the day, my son made it. He made all his dreams come true. For me to watch that through everything that we've gone through, it's the best feeling that I can have despite everything. I don't care about anything else, just to watch him called up in his name called tomorrow.
And that's it, and we were talking about this earlier, as a mom, we've done everything and they've done everything. And Tomeka said it, he's done everything and you've done everything as his mom, as his parent to get him to this and just to be able to watch all the hard work. And like you said, even the obstacles that may be tried, and I say tried to deter them, but they still made exactly. It. And, that in itself is a testimony, right? And I know Tomeka can, speak to that on Dylan. I know you can on Najee, and Andrea and I can for, Emil and Marquise. And so then how do you think all of this will change your life? How will this change your family's life?
I'm still questioning that myself. People, say, Tianna, your life's going to change tomorrow. And I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Right.
I just can't imagine what that means right now. I'm the happiest woman right now. My life changed 4 years ago when he got accepted into Alabama and started playing football. So I don't know how much more my life has changed.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love it. It just speaks to us again as moms that every journey and every step closer that our sons and our children in general make towards a lifelong goal or dream. We're just happy for the beginning of the journey. You know, we ain't even
Right.
looked at the next phase of it. Like, I'm just happy that, you know, he had an endeavor to go to school, he made it there, and now this was something that if it occurred, that's extra, you know, the icing on top, you know, but hey.
Right. Like he graduated. I'm on cloud 9 behind him
Mhm.
walking away with that diploma in his hand.
Right.
That's
Right.
the best feeling for me. What we went through, my son got a degree from the University of Alabama. I'm on cloud 9 right now.
Say
I've
it,
been on
Mom.
it since he walked the stage. Yes.
That's it. Well, congratulations on that, because I didn't know he had already, you know, got his degree. So congratulations on that, because that is the big game plan and the game changer right there,
Mhm.
right? That's the biggest one.
Right.
Definitely.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what it was
what
all
changes the
about to
whole
me.
year.
That's what it was about. Right. Hey, Tomeka.
Hey, how are you?
And,
I'm good. How you doing? I'm sorry. I was like, hey, that's my sis.
what is the first thing you're gonna do? What is the first thing you're gonna do?
Tomorrow, right now, my son wants to start a nonprofit organization, and
Okay.
he wants me to get up front on that, and I'm pumped about that because I'm all about giving back. I've been giving back since before we got to where we are, when we going through what we were going through. So I'm all about giving back to our community. So I'm so pumped about this nonprofit organization that we have going called The Bigger Picture. And I'm pumped about giving back to all those families that had to suffer through hardships and just need to know that somebody still got your back. I know what you've gone through and I still got your back. I'm here.
Wow, wow. And I'm
That's
thinking what
amazing.
Tomeka said, Tomeka, this whole right here needs to be a collab, like right here. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I was just about to tell her that I have some information for her because that's something I started working on as well. So we're almost finished. So
Right.
we're getting the nonprofit together and just we're almost done. Probably within the next week we'll be done. So I finally
Right.
found the perfect nonprofit attorney. So yeah, we definitely have to have some conversations.
We do, sis. Yes. Okay. That's
Yes.
what I'm saying.
It-
Yes.
It's that
That's
whole
what I'm about. I want to
empowerment.
give back. Yes. Giving back and giving back to our communities. Yes.
Right, right.
Being that village of support. And so we, as we said, we know you have other things to do. And so the next question I want to ask you, Tianna, is how did you make it to this point with Najee? You know, you stated that, you know, obstacles, like what was that journey navigating everything? How was that?
For me, there was no such thing as giving up. You know, despite the obstacles, being homeless, living place to place, for me, there was no such thing as giving up and giving in. It was, you're going to keep pushing and moving forward. And look where we are. Look where that got us. And like I told my son the other day, you know, as long as we walk in God's path, he's going to lead us in the right direction. And that's what we've been doing since day one.
Yes, I hear that common theme, that faith, you know,
Yeah.
the common
Yes,
theme,
ma'am.
that faith. And even when we don't know what the plan is, how about even when we don't have a plan? You
Right.
know,
Right,
so
exactly.
that's
I
it.
gave it all to him. That's it. Since day one, it's been God.
That's it. That's it. Hey, well, we are, guys. Andrea, any more questions you have for, you know, Tomeka, Tianna? I mean, just awesome. You're on mute.
I really was just wanting this to be live. I mean, can you guys see me? Because I took off. Can you see
See
me?
you.
Hear me? I'm really just grateful just to have you moms here. And as you guys were saying, just helping and uplifting others, I just want to appreciate you guys for joining our platform. And just like you're joining ours, we want to uplift you guys as well. No, you're a mom. That's what we do.
I'm sorry. I had to go somewhere else to get a good connection, so I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
And that's outside. Oh, wow. It's a Cadillac. I'm in downtown Oakland. That's how we roll.
Hey, that's how we roll, right? That's what Holly said earlier.
Yeah.
That's just how we roll as moms. So no need to apologize at all. Well, that concludes, you know, this episode of Moms in the Zone and the draft. And if there's anything that we can ever do for you all, let us know. And we'll definitely stay in contact and collab, because again, it's all about moms, empowering moms, and we want to be a support. And as Andrea said, we appreciate you coming on our platform, and anything that we can do to help you guys, we want to be involved as well. And so to all of our viewers, any questions you have, watch this episode of Moms in the Zone. If your student athlete, your son has dreams of going to the NFL, listen to the wisdom these moms shared tonight. Go to our podcast, Moms in the Zone. We're on all major podcast platforms. We're on Google. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Go to our website, www.momsinthezone.org. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, Moms in the Zone. So tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, we'll have our second episode of Moms in the Zone Draft Day with Ohio State moms and the University of Michigan moms. Thank you again for tuning in.